Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Lunch. I'm Nisha Podar, and with me as always is Sonia Shenoy, and it's earnings time, Sonia, and IGL just reported its numbers. Pretty much in line, and the stock is in the green, but let's get more color from the management of the company. Mr. E.S. Ranganathan, the MD of IGL, joins us on the phone line to talk about the company's Q3 performance. Thanks so much, Mr. Ranganathan, for joining us on CNBC TV18. Now, looking at your numbers, your Q3 was more or less steady, but taking a look at your margin picture on a quarter-on-quarter basis, well, it's come in at 22.2% versus 25% on a QoQ basis. What is the reason for the margins being under pressure in this particular quarter, Mr. Ranganathan?
Actually, the growth in PNG, pipe natural gas sector has been more this quarter, around 21%. That is why, there the margins are quite low compared to CNG. So that is why our overall margin has slightly come down.
So do you think that the volume trend will continue, and what is the outlook as far as CNG and PNG growth volumes are concerned?
Yeah, this financial year also we will be registering a double-digit growth both in CNG and PNG. PNG, of course, will be more than 10%. And going forward in the next 1 year also, we expect the growth to be sustained at in double-digit, 10-11%. The CNG sales has been less because traditionally Q3 has been a low sale time for IGL because of the various holidays coming in between. So fourth quarter we expect to consolidate and make this year a growth of at least 11%. We expect the same growth to sustain for 1 more year at least.
All right, same growth to sustain for 1 more year. So what is the margin outlook that you're giving for FY19 then?
EBITDA has been 5.44 for Q3. We expect that the overall for the year we expect to achieve at least 5.7 rupees per SCM, roughly 20 to 22%.
Okay, thanks a lot for that, Mr. Ranganathan. That is the management of IGL. But we must get back to the markets, because what a market it's turned out to be. 450 points higher now on the Sensex. And just look at the Nifty. It's conquered that 10,600 mark once again. It has moved to the high point, and not once in the day has there been any kind of volatility or any kind of selling pressure. So maybe we're not out of the woods just yet, but today has been an exceptionally good day. Let's also take a look at Asia, where most of the Asian indices were trading in the green. The Nikkei is up over 1%. The Hang Seng Index and Korea are also just about flatlining. But Shanghai right now is down over 1% as the country's trade surplus has missed expectations in the data released today. The European futures point out to a weak opening following weak cues from Wall Street overnight.
All right, and take a look at the Bharat Electricals numbers. They were flashing on our screen. So just a stock check on the basis of the numbers there. If we can pull that up, and there you go, all right, Bajaj Electricals numbers, and 9.1% higher as far as EBITDA is concerned. It's come in almost 5% higher, and there you go. The stock has spiked up and really has liked the numbers and is up almost 0.4% as we speak. All right, and let's get in some opinion going on the market as well. And Ruchir Sharma of Morgan Stanley says that the bull market is in the process of forming a top. And in an exclusive chat with CNBC, Richard also adds that global growth will not accelerate from here on.
Well, I think that this bull market is basically in the process of forming a top. And I think that this is the first crack of it. And bull market tops tend to be a process, not an event. And I think that the reason why this is likely to play out this year is that the trifecta which has been driving global stocks over the last 12 to 18 months as a big sort of tailwind is now bound to turn into a headwind. I do feel over the next 12 to 18 months, we are directionally lower.
Directionally lower,
yes,
okay.
But it's very hard to call whether this is the actual start of it or this is just the start of a process, because usually at the start of a sort of turnaround, you have a lot of back and forth which happens between opposing forces. The trifecta which has driven global markets so powerfully over the last 12 to 18 months is coming to an end, in fact, turning for the worse. What's the trifecta? We have had growth surprising on the upside, inflation during that period consistently surprising on the downside, and of course we have had very cheap money from global central banks with the Fed sort of tapering down, but you have the ECB and the BOJ which have been very accommodative, and even the Central Bank of China. It's unlikely that global growth from here, including USA growth, is going to accelerate much from here. In fact, I think that in the second half, we're going to likely to see global growth disappoint.
The word coming in from Ruchir Sharma. He's cautious. He says the second half of the year could be tougher.
Markets are green and over 1% up on each of the key indices, and of course the mid caps are outperforming. Let's shift focus on the earnings space then in Bharat Forge. That one is up almost 5% in trades today after it reported very strong earnings with a bullish commentary coming in from the management. Sonia has been really analyzing those numbers very, very closely and tells us about what's really standing out and what did the markets really like, Sonia, here?
Very good operational performance, and that's why the street likes the numbers. So the revenue growth has been solid, almost 50% year on year. The EBITDA has gone up 60% for the company on a year-on-year basis, and very good margins of almost 30%, something that they have been maintaining for a while now. But I think what the street definitely likes is the bullish commentary from the management. They say that Q4 will be better than Q3 in almost all their verticals, especially in the North America truck market as well as the domestic commercial vehicle market. And the shipment tonnage that the management has clocked in this time is the highest we've seen in at least the last 8 quarters. So 65,000 tons is what they've recorded this time. And on an average, they've been doing around 46 to 58,000, if you can see that graph on your screen. Apart from that, the company is also evolving quite a bit. They are, bracing themselves for that big surge in the electric vehicle space. They've gone ahead and acquired 40% in an electric vehicle startup company, an Indian startup company called Torque Motorcycle. And they've, for now, decided to invest up to 30 crores to buy 40% stake there. So they are looking to foray and, grab market share in that EV space as well, which is something that the street likes.
All right, so that is the analysis on Bharat Forge, and the street is really rewarding some of the good numbers this time around. In fact, take case in point Cipla, that also gains in trade over 6% up, 6.5% up because of the strong Q3 numbers that have been delivered by this pharma major. Now, Kedar Upadhyay, Group CFO of Cipla, tells CNBC TV18 that the US and India will continue to outperform going ahead as well for the company.
December quarter was a good quarter for us. I think what happened is the Indian prescription business had a higher mix of the respiratory therapy, which is relatively higher margin for us. And our global funded business was lower this quarter. So for both higher margin business contributing higher and low margin businesses contributing lower, that has benefited.
Okay, good numbers coming in from Cipla there, but cement major ACC will be reporting their earnings today. So let's find out what to expect this time. Nigel is here with us. Nigel, the stock is going into its numbers on an optimistic note.
Absolutely. I think the numbers should be out in the next maybe 30 minutes approximately. So we're waiting by, I believe that the meeting is just concluding. The numbers, we're working with a good set of numbers. Primarily, it's coming on a small base as well. So top line growth of around 21%. What helps that? In fact, it's going to be the sales volumes. We are working with a number of around 6.4 to around 6.5 million tons. And the remainder, of course, will be realizations. What does help their realizations? Then they've been focusing on the premium products business, and that's what really helps the realizations. But in terms of volumes, you'll say, how come they are growing by 18% when the rest of the cement industry is growing in single digits? Well, they had capacity expansion coming on stream. So Sindri as well as Jamul, over there we'll have capacities coming on stream and ramping up as well. So East India, that's the reason why, in fact, we'll see a big surge in terms of the top line. In addition to that, remember the same quarter last year, there was a degrowth of around 9%. So it's coming in on a low base. Margins, well, there'll be a bit of a expansion by around 150 basis points. That's because of operating leverage playing out. So that's good for them. Unfortunately, petcoke prices have moved higher. So that's what will limit the benefit in terms of margin expansion. The profit number as well, we are working with nearly around a 230% jump over there. Better operating profit will help them. And the same quarter last year, there was an exceptional item. Expect a good set of numbers. The stock has corrected a goodish bit from the highs. And in fact, if we're taking a look at the major cement companies, that's Ambuja, Ultratech, ACC, valuation-wise, it's the cheapest. But in terms of an EBITDA per ton as well, it gives you the lowest EBITDA per ton. So that's the reason why, in fact, it gets lower multiples. Yeah.
All right, Nigel, thanks so much for giving us what's expected from ACC, and those numbers are expected in just some time from now. The stock is in the green ahead of the expectations of those numbers. Now it's also time for some good news, and the budget day ratings are here. And once again, CNBC TV18 has trumped. Well, CNBC TV18 is the #1 English news channel and the #1 business news channel on budget day. In fact, during the finance minister's budget speech, CNBC TV18's market share is bigger than all English news channels put together. Almost 16 times more than that of Times Now and over 10 times that of Republic TV. All through the day on February 1st, CNBC TV18's market share is 7.5 times more than Times Now, 4.5 times more than Republic TV. We'd like to thank you, our viewers, for such a resounding and overwhelming response and for all the support you have shown us through the years.
Oh yes, what a great day it is for us here at CNBC TV18 and lots of celebrations. So we thank you with all our heart for supporting us through thick and thin and for many, many years, right? And it's not just us who are in front of the camera. All the work, 90% of the work is done by people behind the camera. So our entire team, yes, thank you to all our viewers.
And Sonia, this is like one of our performance parameters, the kind of response that we get from our viewers on especially big days like budget day.
Okay, so 3 cheers to CNBC TV18. Thank you guys once again. We will take a break on that note, but coming up on the other side, Auto Expo 2018 is underway in Delhi. Okay, you know what guys, this is turning out to be quite a good day of trade, and lots of new stocks are getting added to the list of gainers. We told you about how some of the banking names are doing well. Look at some of the metal names now. JSW Steel is one stock. The chart should just be up for you. Sudden zoom in the last 10 minutes on JSW Steel, and you know, there's a lot of volume action picking up there. Look at that. By the way, the pocket to be in this afternoon is PSU banks. Yes, you heard it right, PSU banks. SBI, PNB, Bank of Baroda in the last half an hour have all picked up from the lows, and so has the nifty PSU bank index. So just take a look at SBI there, yanked up in the last 5-10 minutes. But we've been getting you the biggest and the best voices from the Auto Expo, which is underway in New Delhi. Let's hear it out from M&M's Pawan Goenka on their newly launched premium SUV at the Auto Expo this year.
This vehicle is a brand new platform launched in May last year, being sold, started in Korea and now being sold worldwide. So it's only a 7-month-old platform. If you look inside this vehicle, it has almost everything that you can think of in a premium vehicle from technology viewpoint. For example, safety, 9 airbags, the screen size, the largest that you can see, the leather that is being used for seats, again, very premium high-end leather. If you look outside, I believe that this is a true SUV design, unlike what we are beginning to see more and more crossover. And we do believe there is a class of customers who want to own a true blood SUV and with off-roading features that you will find only in a frame-based vehicle, and that's what it is.
So, I mean, what's the plan going forward? When do we see this? Because you haven't really...
We would be launching it as Mahindra badge vehicle. We have redesigned the grille from SsangYong Grill, and this is what it's going to look like. And we would be launching it in this calendar year for sure.
In this calendar? This is going to come in this calendar?
That is correct.
All right. This is a new segment. You're going to, from Bolero now to this. So it's like, two worlds apart. Are you confident that the, customers will be able to win over with the brand Mahindra, with the affluent?
This way, that we have been kind of moving our brand up with every launch. So from Bolero to Scorpio was a big jump for us, and we were worried whether customers would pay 6 lakh for a Mahindra vehicle at that time. From there to XUV was a big jump for us, and again, will a customer pay 12-13 lakh for a Mahindra? And now from there to this is again a big jump, and we are now very confident that Mahindra brand has reached a point where it is seen as a brand that can cover the complete range for SUVs.
Okay.
And since we specialize in SUVs, I think customers would trust Mahindra to give a true SUV for them to own and drive.
All right, CESC has posted its results sometime back. Let's cut across to the management, Sanjeev Goenka, on the performance this quarter.
It'll actually be more or less the same because square footage has gone up. So turnover is not... The new stores that we've added are, which have already been added this year so far, is Maripallim in Andhra Pradesh, Rajarhat in Kolkata, Quest Mall, there's a small apparel store, Park Street, Madhyam Gram, Vikas Nagar in UP.
Total, how many can you say?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7, and how many square feet?
And more which are being added is in the month of March, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more stores opening. So this is Pioneer Sector in NCR, Jesso Road in Kolkata, Rajarhat, Uttarpara, Raheja Mall in NCR, and Gajuwaka in Andhra Pradesh.
And these 7?
All right, so that was the details we given on the Spencer stores. Let's shift focus then. V-Guard unveiled a new logo and brand identity to mark 40 years of the company's existence. Rukmini Rao, our colleague, caught up with Mithun Chittapalli, who's the MD of the company, to talk more about what lies ahead for V-Guard.
We started diversification very early. 1992 is when we got into pumps. 96 we got into water heaters. So today pump is a 300 crore category, water heater is another almost 300 crore category, fan is a 250 crore category, wires is a 600 crore category. So it's not that we have not diversified. We have diversified long time back, and today we have at least 5 or 6 categories which contribute more than 10% of each to the 10% of the company's revenue. So today we have at least 5 or 6 pillars that we stand on. We would like to build another 3 or 4 as we go forward.
What would those be?
So kitchen is one. So we are doing about 70 odd crores in kitchen appliances in 2 categories in 3 markets. So we think on a pan-India scale it can easily grow multiple fold. We are doing another 60-70 crores of switchgear business, which can also grow multiple fold. We are very close to launching modular switches, which will complete the wiring accessories spectrum. And again, these products have not been launched pan-India. They've only been launched in 3 or 4 markets. So I think there is tremendous potential to grow, and I think we will have many more legs as we go forward.
Sure. What has been the initial response as far as your smart products goes? Has this been received well in the market?
It's been received extremely well. We had a very challenging time to launch this in the middle of demonetization, but it's been received very well. This is the full year. This year was the full year it got to be sold, because last year, it was launched on the fag end of the financial year. So we launched something like a product called Pebble about 4 years back. Today Pebble contributes about 20% of the overall revenue of the water heater division. We don't see why Verano cannot do that. Similar with fans, similar with the inverters. Inverters has been really, really good. Fan we are yet to launch. So we have given about 100 test products to our key retailers and influencers. And they've all given very good feedback. So we're hoping to sell at least 2,000 units before March.
A fan will be launched this month?
Okay, so that's V-Guard. It's been one of the big wealth creators in the market over the last many years, and that's an ambitious growth outlook that the company has. But with that, we've run out of time on Business Lunch. Don't go anywhere. There's lots happening in the market, and Midcap Radar will take that ahead.